This is a problem, Jay Prince. And I'm going to tell you like this. If you're 60 years old and you trying to be a street nigga, you failed. My name is Mase. I stand by this message. We not your little niggas. Like, the way you talking, I don't get what you mean. For real, all that big homie stuff, that's for little niggas. Little niggas.
It all started with a fight. Not in the streets, not in a back alley, but in a boxing ring. Shakur Stevenson had just fought, and for a lot of people watching, the performance didn't live up to the hype. The match was slow, not exciting, and for many fans, it felt boring. Mase and Cameron, who were watching and later commenting on it, didn't hold back.
We gave our opinion of the fight. We said the shit was boring. All of us said it was boring. It's 100 niggas saying it's boring. But because our shit go viral, niggas think that they could keep talking to us. Shakur Stevenson told us to get the strap or strap up, or better yet, put the gloves on so he could fight us. We said what he said, and then he started going crazy.
They called it exactly how they saw it. Boring, disappointing, and lacking action. But instead of taking the criticism in stride, Shakur fired back hard. He wasn't just defending himself, he came with threats. He told them to strap up or put the gloves on and fight him.
So look, I gotta ask, I think I'd be remiss if I don't. Any message for Cam and Mase? Y'all been going back and forth a lot over the last week.
Them old niggas, they ain't got my respect.
There you go.
Since it's all comedy, I'm going to deal with it like comedy, nigga. You hear that? Like I said, nigga, your mother named you after Shakur, nigga. You know I ain't had no problems with the first Shakur. I ain't going to have no problems with you.
That's when things really started to heat up, because it wasn't just between Shakur and the commentators anymore. Jay Prince, Shakur's manager, jumped in. Now Jay Prince is a name that carries weight. He's been in the game for decades, respected in both music and boxing circles. But Mase didn't care about that history. He wasn't impressed, and he definitely wasn't intimidated. In fact, he took direct aim at Jay Prince, and what came out of his mouth was pure fire. Mase basically told Jay Prince, if you're 60 years old and still trying to be a street guy, you failed. He made it clear that he and Cam weren't little homies who needed a big boss figure. They were grown men with their own voice, and they weren't going to back down just because someone with a big name told them to. Mase questioned why Jay Prince was even involving himself in this situation.
Jay Prince has a message for both of y'all with your comments after what you guys had to say about Shakur. He said, numbers don't lie, haters do. Let their haters say that he's boring and nobody wants to watch him. Sorry to tell you, it's just a select few of you haters. As you can see, there's proof that he has the #1 ratings in any fight on ESPN this year, the top 3 ratings since 2022. And to all of you haters who want to escalate that hate outside of the ring, I'm Shakur's manager and I handle all his business outside of the ring. In other words, Cam and Mase, I will fade all his shots and take all bets.
So then we talking to you then, all right? We starting with you. Since you the big homie, we starting with you. That's how it goes around here. I want to just start off by saying you are so lacking self-awareness. Like when you give such a lackluster performance and then you think you can make threats to people because you gave a lackluster performance, pause. You don't have the right to tell me what I should like or to tell Cam what he should like. That's not your...
Instead of defending Shakur's performance, he should have been coaching him on how to be a better fighter. Mase said it straight. You're boring. Everybody saw it. We weren't the only ones. You fight like you're scared to get hit. And that's where the humiliation began, because he wasn't just attacking the fight, he was attacking the fighter's pride, the thing every boxer holds dear. Cameron jumped in too, keeping it blunt. He said the most entertaining thing about Shakur in the past 2 years was this argument. Not his fights, not his knockout.
What's happening? Mase smoked what's happening right now. They both worded it, and it still seemed respectful.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they didn't get out of pocket. They didn't get out of pocket.
They seemed
they
like
were just telling the truth.
Not sending them into fights or stirring up unnecessary beef. A real OG keeps you out of trouble, not drags you into it. And in Mase's eyes, Jay Prince failed at that role here. He even broke down the difference between local respect and global respect. Just because you're respected in one place doesn't mean the whole world owes you the same respect. That's a fact that hit hard in this exchange, because it stripped away the aura of Jay Prince being untouchable everywhere. For Mase, it came down to one thing. You can't threaten people just for having an opinion. In music, he said, if someone doesn't like your album, you don't chase them down and try to fight them. You take the criticism, you improve, or you ignore it. Prince went after Mase and Cam, but instead of backing down, they doubled down, hit back harder, and turned the whole thing into a bigger spectacle than the fight itself. And honestly, that's the ultimate irony. Mase and Cam gave Shakur more attention, more headlines, and more coverage than his fight did.
Oh, comedy, I'm going to deal with it like comedy, nigga. You hear that? Like I said, nigga, your mother named you after Shakur, nigga. You know I ain't had no problems with the first Shakur. I ain't going to have no problems with you. Chill out, little nigga. We got the right to have our opinion, and I say that with all due respect, but just keep it where it is, man. Let humor be humor. Let everybody say what they gotta say. You don't like what we said, nigga, box better. Until you beat Tank, it ain't really nothing for you to say. And making threats, I'ma just keep it real. If we talking boxing, I got 3 knockouts in All-Star Weekend, man. So I got 100% knockout ratings on All-Star Weekend if we checking the records.
They even joked about it, saying Shakur had never been in Billboard or TMZ like this until they got involved. They told him straight, "You made it. You're welcome." The humiliation here isn't just in the words Mase said, it's in the fact that everything he said went viral, got people talking, and painted J. Prince and Shakur as being overly sensitive instead of confident champions. In boxing, confidence is everything. Once the public starts seeing you as thin-skinned or defensive, it chips away at your image. Mace's dismantling of J. Prince's involvement was personal, but it also felt like he was schooling the entire situation. He kept repeating the key point. This all started because they called a fight boring. That's it. No personal attacks before that. No disrespect to family. Just a review of the fight. And instead of proving them wrong in the ring, Shakur and his manager tried to win in a shouting match. By the end of it, Mase and Cam were laughing about it, offering to help promote Shakur, saying there was room for him in the podcast world if he ever wanted to switch careers. They turned the beef into comedy, which is one of the most disrespectful ways to end a serious argument, making the other side look like they were never worth taking seriously in the first place. In the end, Mase didn't just roast J. Prince and Shakur, he rewrote the narrative. What should have been remembered as a win for Shakur in the ring became remembered as a loss in the court of public opinion. J. Prince's attempt to defend his fighter backfired because instead of silencing critics, it gave them a bigger platform to keep talking. And Mase, he came out looking like the winner, calm, confident, and unbothered, using humor and facts to embarrass one of the most respected figures in the game. The fight may have been boring, but the fallout was anything but. This was entertainment, just not the kind Shakur and J. Prince wanted.